And NDTV has learned the Election Commission will be visiting Jammu and Kashmir next week, and then election date will finally be announced. Remember, we've been counting down or waiting for that date of when the elections are going to take place and when the Election Commission is going to announce those dates. Let's go across to Sunil Prabhu for more. Sunil, tell us what do we know on this now?
Well, Gargi, as you rightly pointed out, the full commission, that is the entire paraphernalia, will be going to Jammu and Kashmir from the 11th to the 13th. 11th, Monday evening, they will be reaching. And then 12th and 13th are the days that have been scheduled to take an on-ground assessment of the situation in the entire state of Jammu and Kashmir. As you're well aware, the Election Commission has been directed by the Supreme Court to conduct state elections, which are due ever since Article 370 had been promulgated, had been withdrawn. And so it's expected that that announcement will be taken on an on-ground assessment will be taken of whether they can hold simultaneous elections. That is for the assembly as well as for the the general elections together. That's not happened in recent times, so that's an assessment that they will take. They have been given a full briefing by the top security establishment of the country about the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. And then finally, the Election Commission, with all its inputs that it has been given, will take that final call, as I said, after visiting the state. So the dates for general elections, which you and me, and I think millions of others are waiting to know about the schedule, is expected only after they finish that visit. So if you have, one has to be an intelligent guess. On the 14th or 15th, you can expect a formal press conference of the Election Commission to announce the dates for the next Lok Sabha polls, which are expected to be announced. And it's long overdue. So if you can, if I can pin it down, either the 14th or the 15th, unless the Election Commission decides to do it a little bit later.
That's right, Sunil, because the general elections have to be wrapped up. Also, we've seen the Prime Minister has been on quite a whirlwind visit to various parts of the country, and all this, and announcing various projects as well, and all this ahead of the election date announcement.
That's right. I think across the country, not only the Prime Minister, cabinet ministers, every government, making the announcements. So they have still time till the 14th, so they can continue to do so, even though the Election Commission has already on the 1st of March sent a directive saying that don't violate the poll code, don't make announcements, keep to the norms and everything else. But that being said, nobody really follows it in letter and spirit, so we'll have to wait and see whether they will act. But definitely now you see a lot of projects being unveiled, opened up, many promises being made. This is that period of the year ahead of general elections, when you go back to the people for their votes, that you really want to be seen as performing. And so definitely, as you rightly pointed out, apart from the Prime Minister, every cabinet minister, every state government making promises across the country.
That's right, Sunil. Even today, the Prime Minister is in the Northeast, and he's expected, other visits are also on the cards, and we've been, reporting all these visits to various parts. But the model code of conduct then comes into play once those elections will finally be announced. So all these, all these visits and all the union ministers also announcing these projects will all have to come to an end, and then we'll be really in the poll mode.
That's right. They immediately, the model code of conduct kicks off as soon as that press conference is done, from that very date. So, you can't violate the model code of conduct. The Election Commission has been strict in recent times for anybody who has been violating it and, penalized, making some of them sit down, not campaign, and various other steps have been taken. So the important aspect, of course, is that the Election Commission will take that call. My hunch, of course, is that they will hold simultaneous elections in Jammu and Kashmir, but we'll wait for them to take an on-road assessment at this present juncture and then decide to do it, because the entire world community, in particular, a lot of international observers will be keen on seeing elections in Jammu and Kashmir. So that's one aspect that will be uppermost in their minds. The rest of the states they have visited, from West Bengal to Uttar Pradesh to South India, to Western India. So they have done that on-ground assessment. This is the last one which had to be ticked off. So, as I said, expect that date of announcement either on the 14th or on the 15th. They are expected to be back on the 13th. The full commission and all its other departments will be going to the election commission to make that on-ground assessment before they decide on that important aspect. So, if for people like you and me, and for millions of others and our viewers who are interested to know election dates, when will it be known? Uh, Please tune in after the 14th or 15th, and then we will expect the election commission results to tell you that.
That's right, Sunil, and just it's very key that the election commission is going to Jammu and Kashmir. We are in the 6th year of Jammu and Kashmir since it was no longer a state and since no elections have been held there, and this is something parties there have also been waiting for. That's why perhaps we're seeing all this sort of friction now playing out between the NC and the PDP, with Omar Abdullah making those statements yesterday, because it seems that all parties are now perhaps anticipating that elections could be held soon there.
That's right. As you correctly pointed out, there has been no elected state government ever since there was president's rule when the BJP withdrew support to the PDP, and the rest, as they say, is history. Then subsequently, on the August of 6th, the state was made a union territory. And what we saw in the full hearing before the Supreme Court, which interestingly, the Chief Justice of India and his bench did not touch upon, saying that we hadn't really addressed it, even though Mr. Kapil Sibal did speak at length on that entire aspect about whether you can convert a state into a union territory. And that aspect still remains a grey area, and they said they will look at it at another time. But having said that, Jammu and Kashmir was converted into a union territory. The Ladakh also was converted into a union territory. And they have been waiting for an elected government since then. It's now been over 5 years. It's in that aspect that the Election Commission will have to take that important call to ensure that people's representatives on the ground are voted there and elections are conducted as directed by none other than the Supreme Court of India by the end of September. So they have a clear directive to conduct that election. Whether they should postpone it and hold it, just standalone. Is there enough of security establishment and security forces to conduct the elections there without the full force that is required, or do they go ahead and just tick the box thing? So these are the two things which are uppermost in their mind, and only when you make an on-ground assessment will the Election Commission be able to take that final view. They are going to the state of Jammu and Kashmir on the 11th. They'll be there on the 12th. 11th evening they'll be reaching. 12th they'll be there, full visit, and then again followed by 13th. And as I said, hopefully on the 14th or 15th, people like you and me will know what we can expect in terms of when elections will be conducted across the country.